So you know greed, right? One of the 7 deadly sins.
Yeah, that's the one that's like all about like money and stuff, right?
Yeah. So like greed is wanting power, wanting wealth. Like it doesn't have to only do with money. If you can look at the government, right? They're a lot of them are greedy with wanting more power, and I've been seeing that a lot in the corporate world, especially with gaming. Have you?
Oh, like gaming. Yeah, like Xbox. Like I've been seeing on my credit card notices how the Game Pass price it's always like changing up and down. You know?
Yeah.
Is that like what you mean?
I think like even last week, yeah, it's not even that. Like with even buying video games, going up to $80 a game.
$80?
Yeah,
You're telling me 420s?
420s.
That's a lot of money, and that's just for the game?
Yeah, just for the game, not even the console.
That's crazy. And like these consoles, they're going for like $500-$600, aren't they too? On top of the $80 game?
Exactly.
That is crazy. So, we're talking about all this. What do you think's the most greediest then?
I'd say for company-wise, I'd say Activision with the Call of Duties.
Call of Duty, that's a great point. What makes you think that?
Well, you could look at say 2005 with Black Ops 1, Black Ops 2, those great games.
Those were amazing games. I love them.
Look around, there's not like even like there could be some in-game purchases, but they're not needed, right? And then you go to the new games, Black Ops 7, Black Ops 6, and they are like full of in-game purchases, $70 games to start off with.
And plus, that's just for the campaign too.
Yeah.
You gotta think, like, Activision, they're selling every part, like, separately, like, the multiplayer, the zombies, and the campaign.
Exactly. And they have battle passes in a game you're already paying for.
They have battle pass? What could you need a battle pass for in Call of Duty?
I don't know.
See, like, that's just insane that they need, like, that their want for money is just that big that they're adding a battle pass to Call of Duty.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
What do you think is the most greediest?
Greediest? Recently Activision's, that's a great pick, but I'm gonna have to say Nintendo.
That's fair.
Nintendo, because like you've been seeing like the Switch 2, you're seeing all these new Pokemon games, these Zelda games, these new Kirby games, and on the Switch 2, they're $80 like you were saying, and then back then they were like $50-$60 for a game.
Yeah,
and plus. You can't even play these new games on the Switch you own already. They're trying to force you to buy the Switch 2, which honestly isn't even that much better. Because, like, if you think about it, it's just a slightly bigger screen with more graphics. That's it. And that's all they're selling nowadays.
I mean, even if you could look at the game itself. You could look at the new Pokemon game, Scarlet and Violet, or Legend ZA, with subpar graphics. Right, running on the Switch one. And then you look at Breath of the Wild that came out 5 years before those, or 10 years before those. And Breath of the Wild has stunning graphics, stunning gameplay. Mm-hmm. Right, it doesn't run perfectly. I don't think any game does. Yeah, but it is still a great game that gets downgraded as the company goes further. And they're more invested in the money than they are with making a good game.
Yeah, just like that Tears of the Kingdom thing, released on the Switch 1 for what, $60?
Yeah.
And what you've played, would you say it ran pretty good? Looked pretty good?
It ran pretty good. I played that game for so long, and like even with glitches, Nintendo would work on that. And none of the glitches had to do with performance. It was just like weird bugs that happened with the code.
Exactly. And then guess what they do? They re-released the same exact game with barely any fixes just for the Switch 2. Like, they're just trying to milk it. The exact same thing. For plus $20 more. And that's just so you can make it look prettier.
That's crazy. You know what makes me really angry, though?
Huh.
Switch 2 comes out, right? $500 console. They add a video chat feature. You're like, oh, look, cool. We can call our friends on Switch.
Yeah, kind of like the Xbox Party Chat, right?
Yeah. And they have a built-in camera. No, sorry. They have a camera system. To get the camera, you have to spend $55 extra.
Wait, so this camera doesn't even come on the Switch?
No. So
they add a whole new feature and like a whole new thing that's really cool and that other companies do already?
Yeah.
And then you need $55 to use it?
Yeah.
It's not even coming with the Switch?
It's not even like a new game or anything. It's a camera that has some of the worst performance I have ever seen out of any camera.
That's crazy because, like, sure, like Xbox does like that, like the Xbox Connect. But then again, that's for like Just Dance and more games. And,
Yeah.
like the Wii Fit, like that's for a game. That makes sense. Skylanders makes sense.
Yeah.
So now that we start on that, I think gaming accessories, that's a good point too. Because like you've seen some of these controller prices, they're pretty jacked up.
Yeah, if you go to Amazon, you could look at for a Xbox controller, right? And the company sells those things for $100 just for a camera. When you can then go to like an off-brand and get one for $20 that runs perfectly well.
Really?
Yeah.
And yeah, you gotta think like these $100 something controllers, they get stick drift like a month later too.
Yeah.
And then, yep, you have to go buy a knockoff one that's somehow made better than these name brand ones.
Yeah.
And these ones get stick drift like a year later and for way cheaper. And you gotta think, if Nintendo actually cared about what they're selling, their controllers would be the same exact price and probably be better.
Yeah.
That's a good point too, between like the lower and the higher. We could go into like indie games compared to like these big brand games. Like we all know Hollow Knight.
We all know Hollow Knight.
Beautiful game. That's amazing. One of the best games of all time, people say. And that was made by like a couple people, right?
Yeah.
Like 3 people. And then you go over to this new Call of Duty game. And they have they have like thousands of people working on it. And it's worse.
Yeah. And like, it's crazy to think that, right? Because you'd think that a company that has millions of dollars to put into their work could make a better game that isn't only focused on graphics. Like you could look at Terraria, beautiful gameplay, not good graphics, right? That's not the goal with Terraria. It is good gameplay where it is, you getting better in like enjoying yourself.
Mm-hmm.
You go to COD, it's graphics with the same gun mechanics.
Mm-hmm.
A different campaign that is
not even that different. Let's be honest here.
I mean, I heard with I think it was either Modern Warfare 2 or Black Ops 2, a guy turned into a giant, right? How does that work? But the campaign was only like 3 hours.
Only 3 hours too?
Yeah.
And these were on the newer games?
Yes.
So guess what? Those 3 hours was sold separately. And you know what? That brings another point. From Software, Elden Ring, their downloadable content.
Like
you played through it,
yeah.
haven't you? How long was that?
The DLC, $40 for around like 50 or 60 hours of gameplay.
And if we look at the percentages, that's like a big difference, you know.
You could say that's like 50 cents an hour.
I mean, that sounds pretty accurate.
Yeah. But then you go, like From Software is one of the companies I do respect.
Mm-hmm.
Because their goal isn't money. Their goal is to make these great games. That's why they're not releasing them that much.
Yeah, because they're putting their blood, sweat, and tears in this to make a game that feels like it has heart.
Yeah, but then, like, as well with indie games, there's Outer Wilds. Never played it, but people say it is a beautiful story.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's games, like, not even Call of Duty. There's, like, we could say a lot of the Nintendo games, like Mario Tennis, Mario Golf. Why are you making more Mario sports games that aren't different from the other sports games?
I know, like, they're just selling the same crap over and over and over again.
Yeah. And then that doesn't even, like, if we look inside those games, have you seen those in-game purchases?
Let's start with Fortnite. That's a pretty obvious example. Sure, they came up with the Battle Pass. I thought it was kind of cool for the first couple of years. And then now, more recently, did you know they changed the Battle Pass prices?
Did they?
Yeah, you didn't see that? They changed the Battle Pass prices where you don't get... They also changed it, and you don't get more in-game currency. You only get enough to buy the next season's Battle Pass.
That's crazy.
Mm-hmm. And you gotta think, these other games, because of how good Fortnite did with it, all these other games are trying to do the same thing, except theirs are made even more horrible.
Yeah, I'd like to believe that the system kind of started with, like, phone games, right?
That's a good point, too.
In-game purchases on phone games. And then we could say, like, Epic Games saw how much money these phone games are making, so they're thinking, oh, let's do this big in-game currency thing where we have an item shop where you can get skins, but it costs money. $20 for a single skin, right? That's crazy.
That is insane.
But it racked in so much money that other companies saw it and they're like, oh, that's a good idea. Let's start doing that. So it's just an endless cycle of this greed running the gaming companies.
You gotta think, it also like ruins the games too. Cause like they're putting time on trying to make these skins look appealing and all that. You know what they could be doing? Working on the game.
Exactly.
Like, greed is just ruining gaming. And then, you know, these big time things, they're trying to milk all the graphics and all this for the same game, which makes these indie companies suffer even more because they can make an amazing game that we would have no clue about because it's being overshadowed by these big titles that are terrible.
Like, you could say Risk of Rain 2, right?
Mm-hmm.
That was a game I never knew about until we started playing.
Exactly. And you gotta think, if these big companies weren't just out for money and like these big titles and actually put time on these games, these lower games would also be noticed more and they'd give them more money.
Exactly.
Which that they deserve.
Yeah. And I think, like, if we go deeper past the battle passes, right?
Mm-hmm.
Have you seen, let me tell you something, Minecraft Story Mode, right?
Mm-hmm.
Did you know when it first came out, it was 4 chapters, right?
4 chapters, yep.
Pay $20 for 4 more chapters.
Okay.
And then Season 2 comes out.
Mm-hmm.
$50 for a new game for 5 chapters.
$50 for 5 chapters. So in order to play all of that game story, all of Minecraft Story Mode's, you know, actual game, that's what, $90?
Around that, yeah.
Just for the entire game.
Yeah.
When they could have just made it a $60 game.
Yeah.
And you gotta think how this impacts the people. Like, we're just talking about these companies. Let's talk about, like, the actual gamers. Like, the ones that are, like, in poor, like, areas and don't have a lot of money. They can't be enjoying these big games that aren't even that good, by the way. They can't enjoy these games that their friends are playing because they're jacking up the prices so much.
Yeah. And I understand a little why companies make things more expensive. But I feel like...
I mean, yeah, we've all seen the gas prices.
We see the gas prices. There's people to pay, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the games cost money themselves to make. But I feel like at some point, there's a barrier of greed and...
what you need and revenue.
Yeah.
Like, there should be an established barrier. Like, it's understandable that they need money, but, like... We all gotta admit, some of these things are crazy.
Very crazy.
Prices.
And that's why I will be sticking to indie games unless Call of Duty releases Minecraft Call of Duty.
Minecraft Call of Duty? You know, and hopefully that'll be $20.
Yep.
What a story.